In this video, we talk about images and by accident also about versions. I said that by accident, but it's not the accident. We need to talk about versions when we talk about images, because everything here is about versioning. Anyway, what is image? Image, as Docker explains itself, is a package that contains everything what is needed to run some specific workload. So, for example, binaries, config files, dependencies, and so on and so on and so on. For example, for Postgres database, it will contain the database itself, the binaries, and other things which we need. For Jenkins, it will contain the binary for Jenkins, the dependencies, all plugins which we have there, and of course other dependencies and so on. For Python, it will be the Python runtime and some maybe app code or things like that. Depends what you really need. This is like a golden copy which you are using in order to create your containers later. So doesn't matter how many containers you want to create, you use this one image in order to get this container up and running. Images have two principles, as Docker explains that. So first of all, images are immutable. So when we create the image, if we provide any changes to the code or version of installed applications there or whatever, any change we want to make, we have to create, or we should create another image, so new one. And this is this versioning, okay? And there is one specific tag, because we version images using tags in Docker. So normally, let me just show you this in some, like if for example I want to use Nginx, right? Nginx. If I use this, if I write Nginx only, I will use this specific tag, this default tag, and this default specific tag is latest. Okay, so every single image which was created as the last one should contain the latest tag. And now, if you create another container and you tag it with latest, this tag will be moved to the new container, to the new image. I'm sorry for messing this container and image. So I have one version, I have another version, the newest version, and this newest version should contain this tag latest. This is it. But then I can download like very specific version 1.27.2, for example. Okay, so this will download the version tagged as 1.27.2. I can do this as well. Okay, so this will be the older version. But here I have like two versions, 27.2, 27.1, maybe even more. What if I want to stay with very specific minor version? I can do this, and this will download the latest versions from 1.27. So it will be something like, it's something like that. Okay, I can stay even in major version, so I can do this. So again, will be like something like that. Of course, it doesn't work this way. You don't have like one dot latest or something. No, this is just to show you how it works. I remove this what we had here, and let me explain. So I explained this approach with the versions. Now, from where we can download the images. So there is specific entities called registries. The most popular one is DockerHub. You can find it under the hub.docker.com, and there are plenty of images. Almost everything what you need will be there, starting with operating systems like Ubuntu, like Alpine. We have web servers, we have databases, we have programming languages, many things, applications, a lot of things. Okay, and as I mentioned, DockerHub is I think still most popular. But then you can have many other registries. So for example, we have SaaS solutions like AWS Elastic Container Registry, ECR. We can have registry run in our own home machine using the Docker registry, which is available from the Docker to download. But today we will use DockerHub. And the difference between DockerHub and other registries is that the DockerHub is like a default registry. So I don't need to provide any name for the registry or address of the registry or anything. If I use Docker download something, it will go to DockerHub. Of course, there is no command like Docker download. If I want to use something specific like my own, like ECR, I have to add and log to the proper registry. Okay, so how to pull the image? We will pull the Nginx in different versions to see what can happen there. So first of all, I will download Docker pull. This is the command to pull the image to my machine. But before I will show you this, let's see what kind of images we have here. None. Okay, it's empty. By the way, today I'm using PowerShell. So last time we used Ubuntu machine on AWS. Today I'm using my own home machine with PowerShell, and it works. So let's download Docker image, Docker pull. This is the command, and now let's download Nginx. Just this. What will happen? As you can see, we are using default tag. So I didn't add any tag, what means I want to the default tag, which is latest. Now there are layers which are downloaded, and this is the second principle of the images, that every single image contains multiple, probably multiple, it can be one, but generally it's multiple layers. Each layer represents a set of file system changes. We will go deeper into that when we start talking about Docker files. Okay, our Docker image is downloaded. Let's see it. Docker images. And we have our image. So what we have here? We have the name of the repository and of course the image, the tag, the image ID, when it was created and how big it is. Now, let's create another image, or let's download another image. So what will happen if I do this? In fact, nothing should happen because I have already this latest, right? So yes, I have it. Image is up to date for Nginx latest. If Nginx will provide the new version and I will do this, it will be updated. Okay, so what else I can do? I can pull very specific version of my container, of my image, and let it be version 1. I have it already, right? Of course I have it, because it is, let me remind you, this is something like this. Right? So here we can see that we have two images. In fact, it is like not two images, it's one image but with different tags. This is the ID. As you can see, it's the same. Creation date is the same. Size is the same. What if I will download 27? No, of course, my bad. 27. Looks like it's exactly the same version, right? And finally, what if I download something like that? Again, it's the same, right? So let's download different version from the like security update versions. Right now, as you can see, it's a little bit different. So we are downloading, in fact, another image, another copy of the version, right? Another version, in fact. Okay, we have it. Let's see. And as you can see, right now we have something else. So we have 4 images with the same ID, and 27.1 is different. This is completely different image, completely different version. Okay, it's older, it's smaller, and so on. Of course, we can also pull the previous version. Okay, and we can see clearly that 1.26 is also a different version. So what we learned today, how to pull the image. Just this pulling of the image itself is not very useful, but we need to learn how to do it because we will need it later, and also we learn how versioning works here. In the next episode, which will be very short, we will delete those images. So see you there.